Welcome to the Viking Age Podcast. It's the official podcast of the VikingAge.com. My name is Chris Shad. I write for Fansided and ZoneCoverage.com. He is Adam Patrick, managing editor for the VikingAge.com and a lead editor at Fansided.com. We are, a lead editor for the NFL division at Fansided. We do this right here on the Viking Age YouTube channel. We're also in podcast form on Apple and Spotify the very next day. But however you consume us, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe so you never miss a new episode and we can spread the word to the masses. Today's show, mock drafts apparently have eyes for one prospect for the Vikings in the NFL draft. We'll talk about Dylan Thieneman and what the hell's going on there today. Pat McAfee apparently is the only reason you're watching WrestleMania, and because the Vikings aren't doing anything, we're going to talk about it. But just when you thought the Vikings general manager search couldn't get any weirder, it got weirder last week. And we didn't have a show last week. We're going to talk about it right now because apparently the Vikings want a leader at general manager. The Vikings, of course, fired Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah in February and are waiting until after the draft to hire his full-time replacement. That we knew. But then the Athletics' Alec Lewis came in with I don't know if you'd call it a notebook or whatever it was. He knew some things. So he decided to drop him in a column. And he said that the Vikings aren't looking for a particular background, such as scouting or financials like Rob Brzezinski has. They are looking for someone who can be a leader. I give it the little finger quotes, Mark Wilf said he wants a leader of the organization who can communicate and deliver. Lewis added, ding Adolfo-Mensah for his drafts if you wish, but the primary reason for his dismissal was the inability to meld the personnel staff vision with the coaching staff's preferences. Differences of opinion on specific players and situations furthered an early disconnect. He also added, above all, in targeting their next GM to work with head coach Kevin O'Connell, the Vikings are hoping to establish an infrastructure that collaborates as much as the practice in theory. So let's start here, Adam. What do you think the Vikings mean when they say they are looking for a leader for their new general manager?
They're looking for a yes man for Kevin O'Connell. I mean, to say that Kwesi, his main thing for getting let go was because he failed to mend the coaches and front office, which I think is a bit of a stretch because there's reports that the coaching staff might have influenced his decisions a little too much. And how many times did we hear Kwesi use the word collaboration anytime he would get up to a podium? Like, he used that word as much as possible, along with the competitive rebuild that this regime thought it could do and clearly couldn't. But I think its signs are pointing more towards Rob Brzezinski, I would say, as the GM, in terms of he's someone who has been there a while. Ownership likes him, people in the front office like him, coaching staff likes him, and he's someone that Kevin O'Connell can work with and bounce off ideas off of. Is he someone who's going to push back and maybe say, "Hey, maybe we shouldn't trade for Adam Thielen"? I don't know, because the report or the rumor is that he was the one who kind of pushed Kwesi aside and said, "Hold on, kid, I'll take care of this and give the Panthers a 4th-round pick for Adam Thielen." So I'm a little worried about that if he's the GM, because if Kevin O'Connell was the GM, I feel pretty comfortable saying Kirk Cousins would still be the quarterback, if he was running the ship for the last handful of years. There's a would Sam Darnold still be here? I don't know about that. I think Kevin O'Connell is pretty focused on getting JJ McCarthy to be the quarterback. But yeah, it just leadership is an interesting word to use, because I think it's more about someone who can just not ruffle feathers, I guess, between the front office and the coaching staff, and try and just give people everything that they want, which I feel is hard. And then, if you're Rob Brzezinski, you've been with the Vikings for 30 years. Do you really want to become a GM and possibly get fired within the next few years? Or does he work at a deal where he's the GM for a little bit, and if it doesn't work out, he's able to go back, either to his old position or a different position in the front office? Because we've seen plenty of times where like head coaches like Pete Carroll or somebody else will be like, "Oh, he's taking a front office role or whatever," um, just kind of taking a step back without the word firing used. Um, so I don't know, but it is weird. It seems like it's pointing towards Rob Brzezinski because there's reports that the Vikings really haven't started their GM search, but then there's reports that it's going to end quickly when they do begin it, which would make you think that they already do have someone in mind, and they have to go through. I believe you have to go through the Rooney Rule for the GM process
Yes.
as well. So I'm going to assume that's why it's not going to be immediate, or it hasn't been announced already. It's because they have to go through the proper protocol, even though we probably know who the GM's going to be. Like, even the people interviewing, like, are probably like, great. So excited to be like,
hey, thank you for coming in today.
yeah.
This was great. We're going to hire Rob Brzezinski. So,
or like,
thank
hey,
you.
We've got your information.
We'll call
get back. We'll get back to you, when we can. Just keep a lookout, and good luck.
Yeah, I'm sure you and I have both been in interviews like that where it's like, yeah, you're not hiring me, dude. Like,
No.
You're just, you liked my, he's got 5 years of experience at the Dodge County Independent. Oh, great. Oh, here we go. Yeah.
Alrighty. This is good. I enjoyed this. We'll be talking, we'll maybe get back together sometime soon. No, we're not.
What this reminds me of is like college football dynasty mode, where like you go in and like you have the 3 archetypes. So you have recruiter, motivator, and strategist, and like each part like unlocks certain things. That's what it feels like this general manager search is going on. By the way, I did win my second national championship at Penn State last week. Wow. So I do want to point that out. Yeah, I'm still waiting for the Gophers to call me, but I'm probably
you're gonna take a demotion to the Gophers.
It's my dream. It's my hometown to get all bulked up and then turn Minnesota into a powerhouse. But we like our 8 to 9 wins in our PJ Flex. So what can we say?
Okay.
When I look at this, though, I think Kevin O'Connell and Brian Flores want to be part of that scouting part of the equation. And you mentioned this a little bit. I've heard this too, that Kwesi was influenced by the coaching staff for some of these moves, and those reports are out there. I know a couple of free agent signings that the coaching staff kind of bullied Kwesi into doing, from what I heard. So that's another thing. But I mean, they're looking for a CEO guy to kind of oversee things. Like, I've made the joke, maybe this was to you, maybe this was someone else, that, Brian Flores and Kevin O'Connell are going to be fighting to the death in front of Rob Brzezinski, who's just sitting in the corner going, can I get it? Okay. Yeah, this is great. Promotion. Yeah, this is good. This is good, because that dude has been with the organization since 1999. Yeah. It's a 9-to-5 job, as 9 to 5 as NFL jobs get, like he's survived 2 or 3 different general managers now. Like, if I'm him, I wouldn't want to, I'm sure it's clout. It's everything. It's a bit of an ego boost. Why would I want to sacrifice that to be the GM of a team who never lets you rebuild, at times handicaps you from doing what's right for the long-term health of the organization? And the thing that I like about Brzezinski through this whole process is he has said, this is about the future. This isn't about 2026. This isn't about whatever. We are looking down the road. Now we'll see if that actually happens when it comes to the draft. But I mean, Alec Lewis noted he's never asked for more power. So I mean,
30 years.
Yes. I mean, the guy's a loyal Viking, so to speak. And I think this is more about Kevin O'Connell than it is the general manager position.
Yeah, I think if they make Brzezinski the general manager, I'd be more curious to see what they do with the rest of the front office in terms of like who they have as, director of player personnel director of scouting and all that stuff? Are they gonna switch things up there? Are they gonna move on from Ryan Grigson? Are they gonna move on from some other people who, I don't know if it's if blame is on them for not producing good enough results in terms of scouting players. But I think there, at least some changes would probably need to be made, regardless of who is named the GM, whether it's Brzezinski or not. Um, so I'd be curious to see how that stuff goes out. Like Brzezinski's Chris Carter was on the Vikings when Brzezinski was here. That's how long ago he's been with the team.
Isn't it crazy? Like for people like I will turn 40 tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I was sitting here watching wrestling and I was like, isn't it crazy? Like you flip on WrestleMania 17, which was 25 years ago, and you're sitting there and you're like, man, this feels like yesterday. Like the Hardy Boys and Edge and Christian and The Rock and Stone. Like
so good.
It just feels like it was, but it's like you have to remind yourself this literally happened 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to retrain your brain. So
it's different too, because like 30 years ago when we were kids was like black and white TV and like 3 channels on the TV and everything. So like it's way different now where things look a lot more similar than back then and to now than they did between there. But yeah, I don't know. I think right now, if you were to ask me who's going to be the GM of the Vikings, I would say Rob Brzezinski. There hasn't even been any rumblings of any other candidate. Like usually you would get like a Jeremy Fowler or an Albert Breer or somebody like that, or somebody else. Sharing.
It took me a second to figure out who you were talking about, but
sharing, the Vikings are interested in blah 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 to be their GM on the short list. Like George Payton was thrown a little bit, but it sounds like he's going to be back with Denver. And then so I just think when guys like Mark Wilf or any other owners talk about like, oh yeah, we're going to conduct a search or whatever, it's probably just go through protocol, meet the Rooney Rule requirements, and then be like, oh yeah, Rob's going to be the guy. As much as that sucks to say, because that's not what the Rooney Rule is for.
But the Vikings aren't going to be they're not the only team that does.
They wouldn't be the first team to do that.
It doesn't make it okay, but it's also like that's how this works, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like,
somebody mentioned, like, I think after Alec Lewis, I think he was the one who came out and said it was going to be like a pretty quick process. I think people have talked about like, why is it got to be quick? What are you doing in May? That like, it has to be quick. Like, take your time. Like, you could actually find someone who's good and could actually help you. But yeah, I'm curious if I would say I think the Vikings want Rob Brzezinski to be the GM, but I just don't know if he wants that. So it's kind of, I feel like it'd probably be his call.
That could be why it's quick.
Yeah,
because he could say, "Nah, I like my job." Okay, now we open it up
because they brought in during free agency. They brought in like a former cap guy from the Seahawks to help out and kind of take over Brzezinski's job. But I think that guy's gone now. So is Brzezinski going to go back to that job, or is he going to do both? Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
this is the most exciting stuff going on right now with the Vikings.
I know. And here's the
other mock draft is the same person.
Let's just go to that. I was going to talk about Kevin O'Connell. He's not getting fired. Like everybody being like, he needs to win a playoff. He's not getting fired. Like he's got the Wilfs in the palm of his hand.
Oh yeah.
Because they're like, oh, 2024. We love 2024.
They'd have to go. Cool. They'd have to go like 2-15 for him to get fired.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not going to happen because they're going to be 9-8, 8-9 all the time.
And I don't care if they're friends or their relationship is transactional or any of those other things that they spouted off. Like I mean, he won. Like that's it. And if they hire Brzezinski, then, and this is not anything against Brzezinski, who's very good at his job. He just reminds me of like Milton from Office Space, where it's just like, he's, anybody see my calculator so I can work out the cap stuff? And again, very good. I'm not making fun of him. No. I'm making fun of the overarching situation here where it's just like, I don't know.
Well, one last thing, like Kevin O'Connell gets connected a lot to Shanahan and McVay a lot because he comes from that tree or whatever. But I feel like what Shanahan has in San Francisco could be something that Kevin O'Connell wants, where John Lynch, yeah, he's the GM, but I'm pretty sure Kyle Shanahan makes a lot of the decisions in terms of like the roster stuff, except for whatever reason, they didn't go with Shanahan's, like, didn't he want Mac Jones? And
Yeah,
everyone's like,
that
no,
was
it's
the
Trey
rumor.
Lance. So for the most part, I think he has control. And McVay too, like with Les Snead. And like Les Snead wasn't viewed as a good GM really until Sean McVay got there, and I don't think that's a coincidence. So I think Kevin O'Connell sees that and he's like, oh, I can do that too. But don't get too crazy because Bill Belichick thought that too. And then he was drafting guys like Cole Strange in the first round. So
Marte Mapu over
yeah.
Tucker Kraft and God, who was the other one? Byron Young for the Rams. Yeah, either of those guys would have been a little bit better there.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think KOC is a good coach. Like, what the hell happened last year? And that's all I want to know. Like, what the hell really happened?
I just don't think they wanted. I don't think they want. They wanted Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
and then they had no idea what to do afterwards. They're just like.
There was no plan B.
There wasn't, because they were like, why would Daniel Jones leave? He was in the practice squad. He wasn't even playing last year. Why would he leave?
And then somebody go, well, we could get Aaron Rodgers. No, my God, no, yeah. We're not doing that. So I don't know.
And there wasn't there like, was there small rumblings of Ryan Tannehill last year?
Yeah,
I feel like there was.
Yeah, there was a little. They probably called me. He's like, "Can I start?" No. Oh, okay. Then I guess I'm still retired.
I'm fine.
Let's go to mock drafts because this has been on my mind for a few weeks. We pushed it off because it hasn't really changed until now. But Dylan Thieneman is a name that you should get used to if you're a Viking fan, because everybody is projecting Dylan Thieneman to Vikings. You may sit there and you may go, not everybody. No, we're literally everybody. So this website, NFL Mock Draft Database, has a consensus mock draft that has over 100 mocks, and they produce one big one. I mean, I think it's like two. Yeah, it gets to 1,000 by the end of the process, but I think right now it's only like 130 because like some people just do one right before, which is smart, by the way. Like that's how it should go. But you know,
in December,
get those clicks. So this mock draft has Dylan Thieneman to the Vikings with a 66% projection rate. Now, again, you may be sitting at home going like, well, Chris, that isn't everybody. This was the third highest projection rate in the first round. Number one was Fernando Mendoza to the Raiders, which was 100%. That's dropped a little bit because some people think, well, they'll use Kirk Cousins as the future quarterback, and they're idiots. Shout out Joe Spinoza. Arvell Reese to the Jets is 78%. That is the second highest. And then it was Thieneman to the Vikings, which is all the way at 18. So this week, it's changed a little bit. Dylan Thieneman's now projected to go to the Cowboys with the 12th overall pick. But the Vikings are still locked into a safety, Toledo's Emmanuel McNeil-Warren at 18. And also PFF, who I don't know who is writing the content over there anymore because everybody got fired. Like, I don't know. But whoever is writing that now has Dylan Thieneman at 18, and you'll never guess what they mentioned the rationale with. Harrison Smith might retire. So I have a hard time believing that Rob Brzezinski, Brian Flores, and KOC got shit-faced at the NFL Combine. It was just, hey, we're locked in. We're locked in. Thieneman, 18, mine. Nobody is touching it. Like, you know that guy at your fantasy draft that
St. Elmo's.
Yes, you know, the guy at your fantasy draft, like he's got the wife and the kids, and he's finally away for the first time.
Bijan's mine.
Bijan, I'm taking Bijan at 4. I'm taking Bijan at 4. Nobody can touch him.
That's when you go, no, you wanted Brian Robinson. Right?
You wanted Brian Robinson. B. Robinson, right?
Yeah.
It's B. Robinson. Why do you think everybody has tunnel vision with Dylan Thieneman at 18? And by the way, Dylan Thieneman, not a bad prospect.
No.
He's very athletic. He's very smart. He can help out in the run. If the Vikings take him at 18, that's fine. But what is the, I mean, this is basically copy paste. Like Harrison Smith is going to retire. Dylan Thieneman, we're going to put him on the Vikings. And two, like the Brian Flores thing. It's like, everybody's like, he would be a perfect fit for Brian Flores defense. Brian Flores might not even be here at this point next year. So like, we have to consider that as well. Yeah. So like, it just seems like NFL analysts do a lot of hard work, but this just seems like groupthink, and it's obnoxious is what it is.
First off, I want to let everyone know that I was using a tissue. I wasn't like doing coke or anything, wiping my nose. I know some wrestling insider was recently accused of that, so I just want to let everyone know it's tissue.
This pot, when we get to the wrestling thing, he's gonna actually sound like the Ultimate Warrior.
Bury
your anchors into my bones. Load the spaceship with the rocket fuel.
That's a different kind of drug, I feel like. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Thieneman.
Cream of the crop, Dylan Thieneman. Oh yeah, he's gonna go to 18.
Already
Macho Man. Oh yeah, dig it. Sorry, I'm done.
No, I'm just surprised at like pick 18. How like that late in the round can be so definitive. Like we usually got like the first five. First five were known pretty well. People are like, usually they can nail those pretty well. But 18, like you guys are so confident in pick 18 that no one's gonna move around. The Vikings aren't gonna trade back. That they're gonna just take Dylan Thieneman. And yes, let's just say the obvious. He's getting picked because Harrison Smith is white, and so is Dylan Thieneman. Like, come on.
It's just like Christian McCaffrey reminds me of Peyton Hillis.
Yeah, what? Or Danny Woodhead,
Cooper Kupp, Wes Welker.
Yeah. So Adam Thielen wasn't the kid out of TCU, the receiver last year, who went to the Raiders. Wasn't a lot of his comp was like, oh, he reminds me of Adam Thielen. It's like Betts or something. But yeah, it's fine, whatever. Like a couple mock drafts, you think Thieneman's going to go there, but every single one. This reminds me of Garrett Bradbury to the Vikings in 2019. Like every mock draft, I feel like had him going there because they needed a center. And then I'm thinking of Trey Waynes in 2015, and they had like the 10th or 11th pick, and he was their mock too. Like that's a little more reasonable because the picks are higher. But even like 2016, I think a lot of people mocked Laquan Treadwell to the Vikings. So I don't know. I was listening to, I think it was Ben Gessling the other day from the Minnesota Star Tribune on their podcast. It was Access Vikings. And he was saying it's probably pretty likely that the Vikings will trade back, and because they would like to they would like to go back to having more than 9 picks because they didn't have a whole lot of money to spend in free agency. So they're going to look for guys, have more picks and look for guys who can play more immediate and not be projects. So I'm thinking in my head, like, yeah, it'd probably be better to have 4 top 100 picks than 3. So you could trade back, maybe get a receiver in the first round, and then get a safety in the second round because it's a pretty deep, one of the deepest positions in the draft. At least that's what people say. You get a guy like Bud Clark in the second round, who had 15 interceptions as in his college career. Because that's what the Vikings need. Me and you talked about it earlier today. They need someone like a Cam Bynum who just finds their way to get the ball in their hands. Because they missed that badly last year when they couldn't get any turnovers. If they got a few more turnovers, they would have been in the playoffs. So Isaiah Rodgers is good or whatever. He had that one game where he had 15 turnovers, but after that, they didn't have a lot. But I don't know. I saw some stuff today. Kenyon Sadiq's visiting with the Vikings. Maybe that's an option. I don't know if he'll be around at 18. I don't think the Vikings are going to trade up for anybody. That's my thing. I think if anything, they'll be an 18, like hoping for people to call them to trade up, and hoping someone falls like a Kenyon Sadiq or Jordan Tyson or something like that, where people will trade up with the Vikings. So,
but why wouldn't you just take them?
Oh, at that position? Yeah. You could. I just don't know if they think that player at that position the difference is going to be that much better than a player you could get if you trade back like 10 spots and pick up another second round pick or something. I just don't think the difference between the person picked at 18 and the person picked at 28 is going to be that much a difference, especially if you can get another second or third round pick. Because this draft is not deep. It's not like there's some positions that have better players, but compared to last year, compared to next year, earlier today, me and my coworkers were going over the 2020 draft. That draft was stacked. Like Burrow, Tua, uh, Joe Herbert, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb. Like that's just like, and everyone else. Like I didn't even name half the people. So like this draft isn't that exciting. So I don't think like we know Fernando Mendoza is going 1. After that, I don't think anybody really knows.
Right.
So,
And I think too, like this groupthink ignores that this team has a lot of holes that they need to fill. And some of them, like I've been writing Packers stories for the last year. And the one thing that I've kind of noticed is they do a lot of, yeah, I know I'm a traitor. Somebody's going to call me out online about it again. I mean, the one thing that they do, though, is they draft into the future before it becomes a need. They took Jordan Morgan. Rasheed Walker leaves in free agency. They have a guy to plug in at left tackle. Romeo Doubs leaves for the New England Patriots. Matthew Golden, now's your chance.
Jordan
You're talking about, Jordan Love. Like you can look down that list. The Vikings, for the longest time, have been like, okay, we traded Stephon Diggs. We got to get a wide receiver now. Okay, we need a guard. Let's take Donovan Jackson. But it's very frequent. And
they draft for need
credit,
more
they've gotten studs in that situation where, Justin Jefferson, Christian Darrisaw, etc. But at the same time, I think they should be looking at some of their other needs. Like I have a huge list here. Running back. You're not getting Jeremiah Love, but the draft gets weird sometimes. And maybe that's a position you trade down for and you fill that. Cornerback, cornerbacks are getting paid absurd amounts of money. Take a cornerback, see if you can get a good one. Maybe that'll be a discounted rate. You get a couple of years out of that, and who knows? You could either pay him or you could trade him like the Kansas City Chiefs did with Trent McDuffie. Linebacker is a need. Brian Cashman misses time every year. Eric Wilson is 32 years old. Blake Cashman, excuse me. Baseball brain. Twins have the best record in the American League right now. I mean, they're hot. Yes. Well, Twins Padres World Series. Write it down.
Let's go.
They're gonna put a statue of Tom Pohlad holding a $2 beer. Just man of the people. Defensive tackle. The Vikings released 2 of them. I know they weren't good, but that's still 2 bodies you're down there. Offensive tackle. Kevin O'Connell talked about Christian Darrisaw. Not great. And I don't want him going out there and be like,
Brian O'Neill's getting older too.
Ooh, yes. Brian O'Neill and his 5 Guys cheeseburgers, extra sloppy. He's getting older. TJ Hawkinson's in the last year of his deal. We talked about Kenyon Sadiq. Center. I know Blake Brandel spent a night at a Holiday Inn Express and knows how to play center now. I'm not okay with him at center. Wide receiver. Do you trust anybody other than Justin Jefferson? Is Jordan Addison going to stop making GTA 6 missions out of trips to the grocery store?
Nobody is talking about how this could be Jordan Addison's final season.
Yes,
he could be done after this year with the Vikings.
Yeah,
and everyone's
they're going to pick up his option, but I
don't think they will. If he 1 has another incident or 2 doesn't play well, are you going to really pay him $18 million if he doesn't? I feel
if he doesn't play well, no.
Yeah, I feel like he has to have over.
You got to get 1,000 yards.
Yeah, I would think so.
You got to get what? At least 5 TDs.
Yeah, and you got to not be in the headlines for non-football reasons.
Correct.
Which seems to be a struggle for him.
Yes.
Which is why I feel like the Vikings, for the first pick, I'm not saying at 18, but I think whatever first pick the Vikings take, I think receiver is a legit possibility.
Which is why if Jordan Tyson falls, you should pounce on that. If Mekhi Lemon falls, you should pounce on that. I realize it's not but I mean, the Jordan Addison draft, people talk. I mean, Jackson Smith-Njigba
Yep.
was 22nd in that. I think he was the pick before Jordan Addison. Like,
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson was 22 as well.
Yep.
Like,
Randy Moss, 21.
Yeah, I mean, you can get and if you hit, like, look at what receivers are getting paid. Alec Pierce is making $114 million. Like, and some people who don't watch other football are like, who the hell is Alec Pierce? Exactly my point.
Yep.
Like, he reminds me of an Adam Thielen, actually. It's kind of
why?
weird. If you go look at the tape, I mean, it's
the way the light shines off his uniform.
It's very bright. But of course, safety, Harrison Smith Wright retired, and we have to replace our 38-year-old safety immediately. This is why I don't like mock drafts anymore, because when you look at consensus boards, and they've been doing this for a few years, accurately, 2023, the Vikings were slated to draft Hendon Hooker. Thank God they didn't do that. 26-year-old Hendon Hooker or whatever he was. 2024, JJ McCarthy. Okay. They also said they would take Cooper DeJean. Of course, they traded up for Dallas Turner because everybody took offensive players in the first half of that draft. Nick Emanwari was the pick that was projected last year. Would have actually loved that in hindsight because he's a player. And if you look at Thiene-Mania and you're kind of like, hey, I like this guy, that's kind of the comp you would say. But I don't know. I mean, I said they're probably going to trade down. They're probably going to get more picks. I mean, they just need youth on this team. And again, if somebody like Jordan Tyson is there, go get him.
I think what bothers me the most is can Harrison Smith just retire? Like, I love him. I love Harrison Smith. I love him as a player.
He's coming back.
Yeah, don't do the Aaron Rodgers thing. Just why do we got to drag this thing out? Like, and I know it's because he doesn't want to do OTAs or training camp and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're just gonna have him skip that. But this is getting ridiculous. Like, to be fair, he wasn't that good last year. He had probably his worst season of his career. And now, I'm sure the people within the Vikings I know they have a much better idea than we do on the outside of what Harrison Smith is going to be doing. And we'll be able to find that out probably if they don't take Dylan Thieneman at number 18. But it just leads to stuff like this where it's like, oh, well, Harrison Smith's going to retire. And it's like, we don't know that. But at the same time, like, can you just retire? Like, I love Harrison Smith, great Viking, all-time Viking, future Hall of Famer. Can we just move on? Why do we have to keep doing this? Like,
why are we being held hostage by a 38-year-old safety?
Can we just move on so we can move on, start fresh, like at the position, fail or succeed? Like, I know Harrison Smith's good. He's a great leader. He knows the defense great. But can we get someone else who can maybe do something similar? I know we're not going to compare, someone to come in and be just like Harrison Smith, but it's getting to be a little much. It's annoying. Like, he's not. This isn't 09 Brett. This isn't 09 Brett Favre. Like, we need to come back and save the whole team. The Vikings don't need Harrison Smith. Like, will the defense be better off with him? Sure. Will they be better off without him? They could be. But we won't ever get to find that out until he retires. So I don't know. That's my little. I was just thinking that the other day. I'm like, can he just say something? Like, why do we got to do this? Why do we have to wait?
Because we have to respect him. He's a legend, and we don't.
Because you know who his friend is. Quarterback used to play for the Packers a lot. Played for the Steelers last year.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, it's got to be like his buddy.
Yeah.
Although Harrison Smith did also say, when I retire, you're not gonna get a big press conference from me. You'll just know. It's kind of like what Larry Fitzgerald did. So maybe he could be retired, but again, we don't know.
Yeah, that's just it. It's like the Vikings be like that. The Vikings done this too. Like, hey, he said he's not coming back. Well, can you have it? And no, we're not doing a press conference. He doesn't want that. It's all you got to do. It's very simple, very easy. All right. So we're 35 minutes into the show and we basically covered everything going on with the Vikings. So because of that,
onto some former Vikings.
Yes, some former Vikings who are throwing fists at WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas, once in a lifetime in the same city. If you thought the NFL draft had you down in the dumps, WrestleMania is going to drive your depression to new lows, baby, because the main event is Pat McAfee against Jelly Roll. It's technically not, but I mean, why would you build off of 20 years of history between Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes? Just doesn't make sense. And the rest of the build just feels flat. Like it feels awful.
Brock and Oba,
which has been tremendous. And they haven't said a word. All they've done is thrown fists.
Throw chairs, throw computer chairs at each other.
Yeah, it's great. People who don't watch wrestling are like, what? They threw chairs? No, they like picked up steel steps and they're like, no, chairs. Fuck you. Yes,
like
fuck
I'm like,
you.
I'm wondering whether is like one of them going to just lift the ring up like when they face off at WrestleMania just to throw at the other person.
Brock should come out with the the back haul at SummerSlam and the last man where he like picked up the ring and like
Roman fell. Yeah,
just amazing. No, I mean. This has to be the worst WrestleMania build of all time because like I'm sitting here and I'm just like, okay, it's going to pick up at some point. It's going to pick up like even tonight is the go home show for WrestleMania. And I'm still going like, I don't know if I'll watch it. Like I might just like keep track of it online. Cause it's just like, I understand they don't want anybody to get hurt like the Monday before WrestleMania, but
yeah, no one is fighting tonight.
Yes, it's just kind of like, all right, I don't like you. And that's the other thing. It's just people screaming at each other. Like outside of maybe Liv and Stephanie who like might legit murder each other at some point.
Yeah, right.
I mean, chicks heads clonking. Like this build sucks. Like I'm excited for the show. I'm always excited for WrestleMania, but I mean, it's just kind of like, all right, the matches are happening. Like,
does it suck or is it back to the way kind of more closer to how things were when Vince ran things? Because I remember there were WrestleManias when The Miz was like the headlining match of being WWE champion and stuff.
You know what's crazy about that? Not to stop you. He got a concussion in that match. Mm-hmm. So he never remembers main eventing WrestleMania.
That sucks.
Like that's like his big like crowning moment. And like he has no recognition. Yeah, he can watch it, but like no recollection of it.
Even The Rock and John Cena, like those matches, like I always felt like it was more hype than anything, and it wasn't like the build-ups weren't that great. Like there was some good promos, but other than that, they weren't too great. But just this WrestleMania feels like a lot of just throwing things together last minute, like Gunther and Seth Rollins. What? Like that just
that match will bang.
It's gonna be awesome,
and,
but like
you get fresh knees, Seth Rollins,
for no reason. It literally has there's no history, there's no nothing. Then you got Io Sky, who looks like she's not even gonna have a match at WrestleMania. Why? And Jade and Rhea is probably what, like if you think Cody and Randy is bad, like Jade and Rhea is probably one of the worst buildups ever, male or female. Like it's just it's all the same every week. There's no excitement. The promos aren't good. Like I know the wrestling will probably be good in the ring once that happens, but I think the ladder match will be good with Penta and all the other high flyers. Ladder matches at WrestleMania, like Javon Evans, he's probably going to become like a star at WrestleMania. Yeah. Dom and Finn Balor could be kind of underrated. I feel like that'd be pretty good. There's some like underrated matches that could stand out. Did you see it's gonna be Mask versus Mask at AAA or whatever?
Yes.
In May,
and they're going hard too.
Oh yeah, that was like
looks like everybody loves that feud. So it's like that's what Randy Orton against Cody Rhodes should be. It's like when Orton did the heel turn, and I know a lot of people went online. They're like, Cody bleeds every year on the. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But I mean, it worked. Like Randy's losing his shit. Like that's great.
Yeah, and they had Stephanie McMahon in the ring. Like,
yeah,
they could have used her. she's
there are so many. So like for people who don't watch wrestling, this is basically what happened. There is not a lot, but and I'm sure if you're a Vikings fan, you probably just turned.
I mean, like, there's not a lot of people who don't watch wrestling.
Yeah,
admittedly.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, they'll be flipping on the ESPN Unlimited. For those of you who don't watch, this is basically what happened. So Cody Rhodes is the champion. When he came into WWE 20 years ago, he was in a stable with Randy Orton called Legacy. And, they did their thing. They went their separate ways. Cody left the company. He came back. And now he's the American Nightmare or whatever. So
what
like this.
To the other guy?
The other, he was in jail for a while. Some people are like, oh yeah, I want Ted DiBiase to come back. It's like, no, nobody wants that.
No, like, he was doing something similar that he was literally involved in the same case as Brett Favre in the fraud Mississippi stuff. So
yes. Yeah. So anyway, they're friends, whatever. Randy Orton wins the Elimination Chamber. He gets a title match. So then Orton, back in the day, he was like voices in my head, punting people in the head.
Psycho.
Psycho. So like those returned. So he turned on Cody. And then he's talking to this person on the phone. And like every wrestling fan is like coming up with like, is it Kevin Owens? Is it Triple H? Is it The Rock? Is it, whatever? No, it's Pat McAfee, who love him on college football. Like, honestly, like does a decent job. He is good in small doses, not when he's getting like,
he's just like Las Vegas.
Exactly. Like 2 nights, you're good.
Yeah.
Like don't need anything else. Nope. This is like Pat McAfee all the time doing promos. And then they have Jelly Roll in there. My wrestling friend from Royal Rumble a couple years ago. Like it doesn't make sense. Nobody wants it. Like Bully Ray said on Bustin' Open Radio. Nobody wants this. But WWE fucked up so bad by pulling WrestleMania from New Orleans and putting it in Las Vegas for a second straight year. Nobody wants to go. Nobody wants to fork out $1,500 for tickets and then another 15 or whatever to go party in Vegas for 3 nights.
Did you see all the numbers? I think they went around today of like the 2-day, since they've gone to 2 days of WrestleMania. I think like every day has had like over 65 or 70,000. This year they're at 40.
Yeah. They're going to have to build a big ass stage to cover
that is not that is bad. Like 40,000 is still a lot of people. But
AEW take that for All In.
Yeah, for WrestleMania, no. They've been having over 100,000 people combined for both days. I don't think that's going to happen this year.
And that's the problem with the build. They're trying to like make up for that. Like they're like, oh, Pat McAfee and discounts for tickets. Like even like the demon thing with Finn Balor, his alter ego, he like paints himself and he starts crawling like he's possessed or whatever. It's awesome. I've seen it live.
It's like a mop on his head.
Yeah. Well, he said in Cody's thing, he's like, I want to do it again, but I don't want it to be announced. But WWE's got to sell tickets. So you're the demon's going to be there, pal. It's like, come on. Like let's save something for WrestleMania. It's just, here are the matches. All right, enjoy the matches. Like that's what sucks. But
it's very AEW.
Yeah.
It's very like AEW, like they're like,
if you watch a pay-per-view, AEW is awesome. If you watch Dynamite, it's like half the show is like, what is this?
It's like their talking segments and their promos are all like, unless you're MJF or Moxley, like they're terrible. I saw Jericho brought back the list though the other day, so that's pretty good. But it's very AEW where like the buildup is terrible, and then you get to the pay-per-view and you're like, yeah. Sorry. And then it's just, you're like, oh yeah, wrestling. It's good. So like, I think that's what they're hoping on. I kind of wonder if a lot of the talk has been like, Ari Emanuel and TKO kind of like putting their nose in everything. I wonder if Triple H is kind of like, sure, do whatever you want, see what happens. And then it sucks. And then they're going to be like, see? Because like right now, isn't Jelly Roll and Cody versus Randy and Pat McAfee is supposed to be like the backlash.
Yes.
Like no one's gonna watch it. Well, I mean, we will watch it, but
Yes.
but
Nobody wants this. That's the problem.
why is that anything? Like, you guys couldn't get Bad Bunny? He's just the Super Bowl halftime show. You couldn't get him? Come on. His price tag might be too high, but
yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, wrestling's always been a business. It's always there to make money like any other business,
and they're making a lot of money.
Yeah, they're gonna make a pretty penny off WrestleMania.
Like,
I mean, a lot of people bought tickets.
People are like, "Oh, the ratings are down." Like, they just signed like $1 billion deal with Netflix. I don't think they care about ratings.
I think they care about likes and whatever more than ratings, but it just feels like
it's like in the middle of the year. It feels like things are fine. They're doing their thing or whatever, and then it gets around to WrestleMania, and you can feel like there's too many cooks in the kitchen. Like, oh, we gotta do this. We do this. It's like, or we could not do that, and we could just do what works. And it's like, well, try this. Get my guy. Get Pat McAfee there. That's the funniest thing. Like the rumor that he wants, or Ari Emanuel wants him to be the next Sylvester Stallone. The next Sylvester Stallone from the guy from the 80s? That was 50 years ago.
Right.
Like, you want him to be Rocky? Like, you could at least say, I want to be the next Rock.
He looks like a dude that was on Jackass and did way too many drugs. Like,
yeah,
he just did way too many. Like, I'm gonna drink bleach. This is bleach strain.
Like, Pat McAfee, I think his peak in WWE was getting stunned by Stone Cold Steve Austin at, was it
WrestleMania
38 or 37?
Yeah, and it was awesome.
It was.
That match against Austin Theory was awesome. It was fun and it was a novelty. And now it's just oversaturation.
But they do that with everything. ESPN does that with everything. They do it with Stephen A. They do it with.
Did you see they asked Stephen A. to be a part of this too?
Yeah.
Or he claimed that. Yeah.
But you know what? That would have been different. We already know about Pat McAfee. We've already seen Jelly Roll. Yeah. Why do we? Let's get some new. Like, I watched a highlight of Snooki the other day, and she did pretty good in the ring. I was like, I don't think I remember this. And she was doing like back handsprings and stuff. I was like, oh, okay. But like, give me something different. I don't want, like, me and you talk about what's his face from the Niners?
George Kittle.
Yeah, George Kittle. He loves wrestling. He's a natural. He's going to be in wrestling probably after he retires. He's hurt right now, so he couldn't do anything. But even then, you could have got him in like a storyline or something. Like, I don't know.
Have him work with Penta. You can establish that. Like,
celebrities, and like, we're not complaining about celebrities being in WrestleMania because celebrities are
part of WrestleMania.
Important, for WrestleMania. Like the Little Yachty thing. I just went very white and said the Little Yachty. The Little Yachty thing. The Little Yachty thing with Trick Williams. I think that's fine. That's exactly the role a celebrity should play. Like, we saw Johnny Knoxville and Sami Zayn. Like, that was cool. But like, to push a celebrity, I don't even like calling Pat McAfee a celebrity because he's just a personality. Like, to squeeze them into a storyline that doesn't even need even an ounce of it. It's just, I think, what bothers people the most. Like, people are like, well, they want you to boo and you're doing it. It's like, but they're not booing because of the storyline. They're booing because they hate it. Like, they hate the decision the company made. They're not booing because he's a heel. They're booing because they hate what the decision was, because it makes zero sense. But I don't know. We're all gonna watch anyway, so
we'll crack some beers, we'll order some pizza. Mr. Nick Marty's.
Yeah, we're throwing my son a pool party for his birthday on Saturday, and there's gonna be, right now we're up to 15 5-year-olds, so I'm gonna need that WrestleMania and some beer afterwards. So
Royal Rumble. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. I guess we'll just do the two main events here because there's so many matches. You know, what do you think? Cody or Orton, who's winning? I've got Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Just feels like they want to push that a bit.
If they're gonna have a rematch with McAfee involved, yeah, I would think that Orton's gonna probably win then. Yeah. Orton.
I
So
was
annoying.
just like, wait, I didn't know, but well, it sucks too because like
I would want him to win if McAfee wasn't even involved.
Right. And it should be what they should have done is turned Cody heel and had Orton win, but here we are.
They didn't even have to turn him heel. People were already booing for him. We're already booing him. They didn't have to do anything. He could have just leaned. He didn't have to dye his hair.
The Cena thing, right?
Yeah.
Like half the crowd booed him for most of his career, but I mean, he was still John Cena.
Sucks.
Yeah.
And then what? Punk Roman? I think Roman.
Yeah, that's the funny part. We haven't even mentioned like the pure like the wrestling main event.
Yeah. The former Viking.
Yes, former Viking.
The Viking
Roman
saved
Reigns.
his life.
Yes, challenging CM Punk for the world heavyweight title.
Yeah, I think Roman's gonna win that. I feel like they're gonna. There's some rumblings and brewings of. I feel like they're gonna try and get the old bloodline back together this year. I feel like that's gonna somehow happen. I
feel like
even Solo will come back.
Yeah, like everybody comes back.
Because what is Solo doing right now? Fighting for a lantern? They're gonna fight again on Friday.
They're fighting
with the Wyatt 6 or whatever.
I don't know. Tama Tonga is getting sick of his shit, but
I think they're gonna try and go back to the bloodline because they don't know anything else that works right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I could see Punk winning, but I don't know. I mean,
Trick Williams gonna win?
I don't know. I don't know if he wins, but I think he turns face, and I think Sammy goes heel. But
interesting.
I mean, that's part of what's being rumored, but also,
I mean, does Trick Williams have a choice? It's very over.
It's like, you must boo this man. Whoop that trick.
That
Whoop
intro.
That trick.
His intro.
My fist pumps are so out of rhythm, but yes.
This intro is so loud.
Okay, so I don't know. I'll take Punk. I'll be different. I do think it's funny though, because Punk or Roman's like rallying the Samoans, and I'm like, I made this joke with you. I like Zilla Fatu might like jump the barricade and be like, I'm here, Roman. Dude, you're not in the company. What are you doing? Like, no, dude.
I'm pretty sure Paul Heyman said he'd love to have him in WWE. So who knows?
I'm sure he will be there
eventually. Yeah, he'll be there. But yeah. I don't know if he would go straight to the main roster like a Jacob Fatu or something like that.
I'll ask you this one too. I'll throw one more in there. Oba versus Brock. Who you got?
Oh, Oba. Brock's gonna put him over.
I think I would be shocked if that match lasts more than 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, I think it might be Brock maybe gets an F5 in. Oba just goes LOL. And
it's the first match. Brock wants to get out of there.
Yeah. And it's also on ESPN.
Yeah.
In the first hour. So like,
and then I think they're doing the ladder match right after that.
So it's like they want time for the ladder match. So it's like, and I guess ESPN was like, we got to have the Brock Lesnar match on it. And probably like, I don't know, okay, whatever.
What's the one that's going to be on Saturday?
That is the more celebrities. I Show Speeds match.
That's one. See, that's the way to like involve a celebrity, though.
I think they've done well there. Yes.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing is he got cursed, and now like he's just like
he doesn't want to do this. Yeah, he doesn't even want to do anything, and he's playing along, like they're doing stuff on his stream and stuff. Like
he's been pretty entertaining.
Like you want to have Pat McAfee involved? Have Cody go on his show and like tear his set apart.
Right?
Like, why couldn't we do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's that, and then I think Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu's unsanctioned match
again.
I'm looking forward to that one. I like Jacob Fatu.
Have we talked about Becky Lynch and AJ Lee? Like, has that even been promoted?
Yeah, that's a big old don't care for me. I love Becky too,
but like, yeah, I think people have forgotten about it at this point.
Yeah.
They're like,
Well,
oh yeah,
their whole, like I said, it's kind of like the Rhea and Jade thing, where it's like every promo is just them screaming at each other.
and then the fatal 4-way tag match with the girls is gonna be like what the Bella's gonna win.
Fans will, because they'll have a chance to grab beer. Again, I like the performer. Like, Bailey's one of my favorites, but like, I don't care.
Yeah,
that's what sucks. But anyway, so WrestleMania 42, Vegas. Then once this is done, the next big event is SummerSlam in August. I mean, they're going to Italy, but like,
I was gonna say Clash of Castle.
I mean, there's pay-per-views, but like, that's the next like really big show.
I thought Backlash was going to Puerto Rico again. I guess not. It's in Tampa.
No, it's in Tampa. Thought about going, but tickets are a lot of money.
What?
If you looked at, there was a report today that I guess the ringside package for SummerSlam in Minneapolis
discount
is, it was $40,000 last year in New York, but maybe it's that Minnesota pricing. It's now down to $25,000. So quite the bargain if you can go get it. If you're looking for a birthday gift, some SummerSlam ring. That's the other thing that they're doing too that I don't like, is like,
you get to go in the ring.
The Clash at the Clash in Italy or whatever it's called, whatever they're doing this year. Their ringside package comes with an authentic pasta making experience. And it's like, somebody tweeted this. They're like, if I'm paying $11,000 for like a pasta, like Liv Morgan better be making pasta and feeding it to me, because like, come on, man.
$11,000 for pasta.
What sporting event would you pay $11,000 to see?
I don't know.
Like, if money was not an option, like your salary or like your wife wouldn't yell at you, like, what would you like if it were like Minnesota sports team Game 7 NBA final or Stanley Cup, whatever, like if a championship was on the line, like if money was not an issue, I'd be like, I am there.
Hockey would be a good one.
Yes.
Hockey Live is the best. I'd rather pay $11,000 to like go backstage at a concert.
Sure. I mean, people do that. Yeah.
I don't think sports like I would never. No, because I can have a better experience at home watching the game. Like,
I think
$11,000 is ridiculous.
I think if there was a championship on the line, I would want to be in the building to like feel that. But also too, it's always fun to like be in the city. Like if the Vikings were in the Super Bowl in 2017, I would have been up in the cities. Like,
I would have wanted to go to the NFC Championship if it was in Minnesota. That's what I would go to.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm paying $11,000 to like go to the World Series, I want to be sitting in the dugout.
Dugout seat. They do have WrestleMania seats on the stage now.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, above the everything.
Yeah.
Like the pyro's right in front of you.
Oh, this is great. This is amazing. Boom. Whoa.
Goldberg.
Goddamn.
Didn't they get in trouble one year for like, I think it might have been one of the Rock's Cena ones where they were in Miami and like the pyro was too close to people up top. I feel like that was a thing. I don't know.
They had, I did read about WrestleMania 17 where they had to cut the set because of the pyro line. So like they were worried that was going to happen. And then WrestleMania 33, best set in WrestleMania, I think maybe like 39 in Los Angeles is one of my favorites too. But like 33 was this big ass like Universal Studios amusement park theme thing. And the last pyro of the night set the set on fire.
The one?
Well, we weren't going to use that anyway.
I think an underrated one is WrestleMania 20 in New York. And they have like all those buildings.
Oh, yeah. And it was just like a video board, but like the bottom one was one of the underrated WrestleManias, but there's a reason why people don't talk about it, because
it's a shame because it's really good.
I mean, the triple threat match is so good. Yeah. And then Kane and the, Undertaker coming back where, they just have Paul Bearer like, oh,
Jericho and Christian, John Cena winning his first title, like Eddie Guerrero.
Can't mention it at all.
No.
For Eddie Guerrero against Kurt Angle.
Brock Lesnar and Goldberg.
And that match was a shit show, but it's
Stone Cold
entertaining to watch back.
Special ref. Yeah. They were both gone, so they didn't care. But still, like, that was insane. Yeah, a very good WrestleMania, but never talked about for reasons.
So because the Vikings haven't done anything, we talked about WrestleMania for a half hour. That's great.
Yeah.
Pretty predictable if you're a fan of the show. But this, of course, the Viking Age podcast. So I got to ask you, what's going on at the Viking Age, Adam?
Well, we're trying to find mock drafts that aren't picking Dylan Thieneman, but it's very hard to do, as we talked about earlier. Draft's coming up. It's getting closer. There's going to be more rumblings and rumors coming out as usual. There usually is. I think around this time last year is when the Browns-Jags rumors kind of started about the number 2 pick before they got Travis Hunter. So yeah, we'll be keeping an eye on that. Keep an eye on visits for the Vikings. We already mentioned Kenyon Sadiq. They've had a bunch of visits already too. Top 30 visits. And then maybe a little throwback too, because I've been trying to find some old like draft profiles of like Adrian Peterson, Harrison Smith, and those guys to see what the scouts said and what they got wrong. Because some of those are pretty funny. Except for Randy Moss, everyone's like, "This guy's an alien."
He fell for off the field concerns, right? And
Randy Moss?
Yes.
Yeah, because he like smoked weed once.
Yes.
Or like he beat up somebody because someone called him a racial slur, which
understandable.
Yeah.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. So,
but yeah, most of his off-field concerns were weed related, I guess. And then I don't even think he probably did smoke a little bit in the NFL, but was never like I don't think he ever got suspended for it.
No,
I don't think for like squirting water bottles for ref.
Yeah, and then he ran over a traffic cop and just did a bunch of other funny. I shouldn't say funny shit, but I mean,
it's funny now.
Funny in the hindsight, yes.
Like a lot of stuff, like going back and listening to Joe Buck when he did the showing the moon, and he's like, "That's disgusting." It's like, what? Like he didn't even take his pants off.
I heard so. I think Tom Pelissero said this on Score North, but he said that he believes that Joe Buck thought he was like wiping his ass on the goalpost, but he was actually just mooning them because the whole thing. And like Joe Buck has said too, he's like, kind of wish I didn't react like that. But I mean, in the moment, it's like, I don't know what's going on.
So you know what Nick Swartzen said? He said, "I wish Randy Moss would have gone further and actually pulled down his pants, took the shit, and thrown it at the Packers fans." And Nick Swartzen
just start firing away. Just like, oh no. All right, this really is a disgusting act. Oh no. Yeah. Of course, you know me. I'm over at zonecoverage.com writing about the Vikings. I got Twin stuff coming eventually if they stay on top of the American League. I don't know. This might be the high point of their season. I'm just going to have fun with it because it balls. Also to the hockey coverage at Hockey Wilderness. The Wild start their series with the Dallas Stars this weekend. So we're pumping out a lot of content there. I'll be pumping some stuff out as well. And then the RBN network, if you want to keep up on what's going on with the other teams right now. I mean, it's super slow across the NFL, but check out Dairyland Express, the Windy City, Detroit Jock City, Packers, Bears, Lions, in that order. You can check it all out. But of course, this is the Viking Age Podcast, the official podcast of the VikingAge.com. We do this right here on the Viking Age YouTube channel. We're in podcast form on Apple and Spotify the very next day. But however you consume us, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe so you never miss a new episode and we can spread the word to the masses. For Adam Patrick, I am Chris Shad. This is kind of an on-air production meeting, but like normally I do the 4 letters, 1 word thing, but like Jay's not cool Yeats anymore. No so yeah, Yeet no more.
Skull.
Yeah, Skull.